Hey there guys, I hope you had fun reading those multiple intelligence sheets and figured out your totals, and then I'm going to take a look at those and I'm going to kind of review those results with you guys when I am back. And I'm excited to have those conversations because really understanding how you learn and the type of intelligences that are most dominant with you is really fun and interesting and super helpful to know for sure. So what we're going to finish our class with today is questions. So I have already made them for you, so it doesn't matter what class you're in of mine. The questions are going to be handed to you in just a second by our guest teacher, just so that we could save a little bit of time and that nobody had to copy anything and get confused. So you're like, questions, what is Ms. Collis talking about? So in our class, we do a lot, like I said, a lot of academic conversations, a lot of collaboration, and I do that predominantly through what's called a Kagan structure. And for those of you who've never done a Kagan structure, it's just a fancy word for like a company who came up with the collaborative structure. It's about you and the way you're grouped and the activities that we do that really provide very efficient and effective academic conversations and movement. That's all it is, and then that's what a Kagan structure is. And what I love to do at the beginning of the year is to choose my favorite 3 or 4 structures that I model and teach you so that it becomes very natural throughout the year when we have certain activities, because I hate just boring old like throw a question up there, somebody answer it. All right, what did you have to say? To me, that's boring. It's not purposeful. There's no intention behind it. But when you give y'all a chance to think about it yourself, write it down, and then have a chance to talk with your classmates about it, it makes it more meaningful because you feel a little bit more confident that you had time to write it down. And then it's fun when I get to see you guys, whether it's in our stand up, hands up, pair up, whether it's rally robin or numbered heads or, you know, whatever structure it is. It's so fun to be able to see the different discussions going on and the conversations that are happening between classmates. And I enjoy that so much. You guys learn from each other so much better and you get such great ideas and feedback from one another. So what we're gonna do today is, like I said, at this point, like our guest teacher has passed out your class's questions. They should be typed up and on that sheet. So what I'm gonna do is, obviously I'm gonna give you the remainder of the class to think about these questions and to really come up with not only some great responses, but to be able to explain those responses, because what's going to happen on Thursday and Friday and into Monday when I'm back is that we are going to revisit these answers to these questions that you guys came up with, and we're going to be using those answers in the Kagan structures that I'm going to teach you. So you definitely want to make sure that these responses and explanations are done by Thursday, because Thursday we are definitely starting to use these. I just don't know how many we'll get through. So I want you to wisely and quietly use the remainder of the class to really read each question carefully and think about the way that you would answer it. I don't want you talking to your classmates because now's not the time. Right now is your own independent thinking of what you feel about these particular questions. And then on Thursday, that's when you're gonna get to share them, talk with your classmates, get feedback, get their side of it. Maybe you change your mind, because each particular class, my 6th grade STEAM, 7th grade STEAM, and my regular 7th grade advanced and regular classes, you guys all have different questions. My 6th grade and 7th grade STEAM classes, your questions are gonna be based on your summer reading items. And then my regular 7th grade and advanced class, you're gonna be based on a different topic. So that's why I just wanted to be able to make one video to be more efficient for you guys. And like I said, they're being passed out. You wanna just put your first and last name on your paper, and you wanna make sure that you really take the time to provide some really good answers, because the more you think through your answers and the more explanation you provide, oh my goodness, like the easier it is to talk to somebody else because you've really thought it through. You have maybe examples and explanations that go along with your answer. That's gonna be vital. The last thing I'm gonna say before you start looking at your questions, read them and quietly answer them the way that you want to, because remember, there is no right or wrong answer. It's about how you explain yourself. As long as you can explain yourself, there is no right or wrong answer. But that's the point. You have to explain yourself. So like I said, the last thing I'm gonna say before I release you to read your questions and answer them independently and quietly is that you always must restate the question and answer form, and that's gonna be the easiest way that you make sure you have a complete thought that is a great answer. You're restating that question and answer form. You add your answer to the end of it. So restate the question and answer form, add your answer to the end of it, and then explain yourself, whether it's through examples or specific reasoning, explain it. So restate the question and answer form and explain your answers as good as you can, because it's really gonna be beneficial to you on Thursday when you have to share out these in some capacity. So you have the remainder of the class to answer these questions and really, really think about it. Don't be lazy with these answers. The last thing you want me to do is have a first opinion of you as being lazy, and I know you're not. And you know, whether you think your ideas are great or not, I promise you they are great. Whoop. And I want to hear what your opinions are. I love hearing your opinions and your reasoning behind it. Like, you're not wrong, you're right if you explain it. I cannot reiterate that enough. So go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, make sure you ask our guest teacher. And if for some reason you finish before the class is over, look through your supplies, re-look at your answers. Is it grammatically correct? Could you explain it better? Is there more that you could add? Use your time wisely. And then remember, when that bell rings, the bell does not ever dismiss you. Your guest teacher is going to dismiss you. So please make sure that everything is off the floors, your desks are pushed back together, you're not leaving anything behind, and take your answers with you, because if you do not finish, you need to finish at home, and you're gonna be getting those back out on Thursday for us to do those collaborative structures. All right, guys, I hope you have a great Tuesday. One more day without me.